Your transformation from pushover to powerhouse has everyone's jaw on the floor. That new energy radiates from your very being, making it clear you're no longer available for disrespect, manipulation, or playing small to make others comfortable. They're stunned because the person who used to bend over backward for their approval now stands firmly in self-respect, unbothered by their opinions or demands. This unapologetic version of you isn't just a temporary phase, it's your permanent evolution into someone who prioritizes their own worth above anyone else's expectations. Something has changed in you. Can you feel it? That electric current running through your veins, that fire in your gut that wasn't there before, that cosmic shift in your very DNA that's rewriting who you are at a cellular level. They sure as hell can feel it too. They sensed it the moment you walked through the door, the way you hold your head higher now, the way your voice doesn't shake anymore when you speak your truth, the way your eyes don't dart away when confronted. The subtle but unmistakable change in how you carry yourself in this world. You're not the same person they used to manipulate, not even close. The old you, that person who would bend and twist into impossible shapes just to make others comfortable. Gone, vanished, evaporated into the cosmos, never to return. Your energy is loud and they can't handle it. It's radiating from you like gamma rays, powerful, penetrating, impossible to shield against. They squint when you walk in the room now. Your presence burns their retinas because you're glowing with a conviction they've never seen before. No more playing nice, no more bending over backward until your spine nearly snaps, no more swallowing your truth until your throat is raw with unspoken words. You are done, and it looks good on you. Look at their faces, really look. See that confusion, that disbelief, that moment of panic when they realize their old tricks aren't working anymore. Delicious. People expected you to keep shrinking yourself to make them comfortable, to keep folding yourself smaller and smaller until you could fit inside the tiny box they built for you. They got used to it, comfortable with it. They planned their lives around your continued submission. They took your kindness for weakness. What a catastrophic miscalculation that turned out to be. Because kindness was never your weakness, it was your choice. A choice you made deliberately, consciously, repeatedly. And now you're making different choices, and they're scrambling to adapt to this new reality where you are no longer their emotional support human, their doormat, their punching bag, their yes person. No longer the one who absorbs their toxic energy, no longer the shock absorber for their emotional outbursts, no longer the safety net, always waiting to catch them when they fall. The shock in their eyes when they realize you truly don't care anymore is priceless, worth more than gold, more than diamonds, more than any currency on this spinning rock we call Earth. That moment when they throw out the bait, the guilt trip, the manipulation, the passive-aggressive comment, and you don't even flinch. You don't take the bait, you don't engage, you just stare back, unmoved, unshaken, unbothered, and they panic, because what power do they have if they can't control you anymore? None. Let's hold a funeral for the old you, the you who would go out of your way for people who never gave the same energy back. The you who would apologize for taking up space, for having needs, for existing. The you who would exhaust yourself making sure everyone else was comfortable while your own soul was screaming for attention. That version of you is dead, buried, decomposed, returned to the cosmic dust from which we all came. They thrived off your self-sacrifice, feeding on your energy like vampires, draining you dry and coming back for more, sinking their fangs into your jugular and sucking until there was nothing left but a hollow shell of who you used to be. They built their comfort on the foundation of your discomfort, their convenience on the bedrock of your inconvenience, their happiness on the altar of your misery, their success on the scaffolding of your suppressed dreams, their relaxation on the cushion of your exhaustion, their ease on the platform of your struggle. But now, they have to fend for themselves, and they're terrible at it. They've grown weak from relying on you, atrophied, unable to solve their own problems or manage their own emotions because you were always there to do it for them. Watching you choose yourself first is driving them insane. They call it selfish because they don't have the vocabulary to describe someone who has healthy boundaries. They call it mean because they can't comprehend someone who values themselves enough to walk away from disrespect. They call it changed like it's an accusation, when really, it's the highest compliment they could give you. Yes, you've changed, like a caterpillar changes into a butterfly, like a phoenix changes when it rises from the ashes, like the universe. Changed in the milliseconds after the Big Bang, violently, beautifully, irreversibly. While they were busy trying to keep you small, you were quietly building, planning, growing, evolving. And now, the results are impossible to ignore. The glow-up is real, and it's hitting them where it hurts. Your success, whether it's in your career, your relationships, your health, your mindset, is a constant reminder of what they could have had if they had treated you right. If they had invested in you instead of trying to deplete you. If they had watered you instead of trying to cut you down. You kept your moves low-key. You weren't posting the journey. You weren't announcing your plans. You weren't seeking external validation for every small step forward. You weren't looking for applause at the beginning of the race. You were executing in silence while they were running their mouths, putting in the work while they were just talking about it, making real changes while they were just posting inspirational quotes. And now that you're winning, they're scrambling to figure out how. Studying you, analyzing you, dissecting your every move like scientists examining a rare specimen, trying to reverse engineer your transformation so they can replicate it without doing any of the hard inner work you did, without facing the demons you faced, without shedding the tears you shed, without enduring the painful growth you endured. Good luck with that. Your confidence is terrifying to those who once controlled you. Because confident people can't be controlled. Confident people don't seek validation from those who never truly valued them. Confident people don't twist themselves into pretzels, trying to earn love that should have been freely given. And make no mistake, you are radiating confidence now. Not the shallow, performative kind that needs constant external validation. No, this is bone-deep confidence, soul-level certainty. The kind that comes from looking yourself in the mirror and finally being at peace with the person staring back at you. Your new vision is 2020, and you can see everything clearly now. All the dynamics that were hidden from you before, all the subtle manipulations, all the passive-aggressive comments disguised as just jokes, all the backhanded compliments, all the ways they tried to keep you dependent on their approval. You see right through their fake support and hidden jealousy, the way they say, "good for you," through gritted teeth, the way they find subtle ways to undermine your achievements, the way they change the subject when things are going well for you, the way they only show up when they need something transparent, like looking through glass. Anyone who tried to use you, guilt-trip you, or manipulate you, cut off. The energy vampires, the constant critics, the fair-weather friends, the jealous saboteurs, the emotional blackmailers, the perpetual victims, all of them gone from your life with surgical precision. No explanations needed, no long goodbye speeches, no tearful farewells, no dramatic confrontations where you list all their transgressions. No attempts to make them understand or see your side, just the quiet, dignified snip of you, cutting them out of your life like the cancer they are. A clean incision, a necessary amputation, a life-saving procedure to remove the rot before it spreads any further. Some of them deserved a conversation. Most of them didn't. None of them were entitled to unlimited chances to hurt you. They never expected you to walk away completely, but you did. And they're pressed, blowing up your phone, showing up unannounced, sending flying monkeys to check on you, spreading rumors to mutual friends, creating emergencies to pull you back. But you're not playing that game anymore. You've flipped the board, scattered the pieces, left the room, found better people to spend your precious time with. People who celebrate your growth instead of trying to stunt it. People who add to your energy instead of depleting it. People who make you feel expanded instead of contracted. Hello, chosen one. Look at your life. Now look at ours. Back at your life. Now back at ours. Sadly, you're not in the obsidian inner order, but you could be. Picture this. Weekly group calls with 450 plus chosen ones, recorded and available anytime for your enlightenment. Our private Discord, it's not just active, it's alive, buzzing with ideas, breakthroughs, and that unstoppable chosen energy. Oh, and for you romantics out there, welcome to Chosen Singles, where soulmates meet under cosmic alignments, not cheap pickup lines. And if that's not enough, Star Chamber members unlock exclusive interviews with bona fide targeted individuals who faced the darkest trials and survived to tell the tale. Plus our video specials? Too bold, too raw, too spicy for YouTube. This isn't just a community, it's a revolution of soul and spirit. Look at your DMs. Now back at me. The link to join? It's in the description. Don't just swipe right. On Destiny, claim it, the obsidian inner order. Smell like ascension, feel like magic, live like a chosen one. Oh, and that toxic ex who thought they could always come back? The one who treated the relationship like a revolving door they could waltz through whenever they felt like it. They're begging now. They see the new you, and suddenly they're in love again. Suddenly they've changed. Suddenly they're ready to give you everything they withheld before. Suddenly they appreciate all your qualities they used to criticize. Suddenly they understand what they had, now that they don't have it anymore. How convenient for them, how utterly predictable. But you don't need closure from them. You're too busy loving yourself, too occupied with your growth to entertain their desperate attempts to reclaim what they carelessly discarded. Too focused on your future to revisit a past that did nothing but drain your light. Too engaged with your evolution to waste a single precious second on their revolution back into your life. Too consumed with your ascension to worry about their desperation. Too invested in your peace to disturb it with their chaos, the closure they're seeking. That's for them, not for you. That's to ease their conscience, not to heal your heart. That's to soothe their ego, not to serve your soul. And you are no longer in the business of catering to their needs at the expense of your own. Their texts sit unread. Their calls go to voicemail. Their grand gestures fall flat because you finally understand that their attention is not a compliment. It's just confirmation that you were always worthy and they were too blind to see it. Let them watch from the sidelines as you become everything they said you couldn't be. Let them choke on the regret of letting you go. Let them drown in the reality that they had a diamond in their hands and treated it like glass. Their loss, your gain. The universal scales balancing themselves out with perfect cosmic precision. Of course, they're not going down without a fight. They're poking at you, gossiping, trying to provoke a reaction. Throwing pebbles at a mountain, hoping to cause an avalanche, testing your boundaries, looking for cracks in your armor, searching for evidence that the old you is still in there, somewhere waiting to be reactivated. But you don't even flinch, not a twitch, not a waver, not a moment of weakness or doubt. You stand firm like a mountain facing a gentle breeze, unmoved, unbothered, unshaken. Your silence is louder than any argument, your absence more powerful than any presence, your indifference more devastating than any hatred, your calm more unsettling than any storm, your boundaries more impenetrable than any fortress, your self-respect more intimidating than any show of force. They can't handle the fact that their mind games don't work on you anymore. that their emotional hooks find no purchase in your psyche, that their drama creates no ripples in the still, deep lake of your newfound peace. It infuriates them, keeps them up at night, occupies their thoughts while you've completely forgotten about them. They're fighting a ghost, throwing punches at smoke, trying to wound someone who isn't even there anymore. Because the person they knew, the one who would have been destroyed by their tactics, that person is gone, evolved, transformed into someone who recognizes manipulation for what it is, a pathetic attempt to control what should never have been controlled in the first place. While the energy vampires are gnashing their teeth, a whole new crowd is taking notice of you. People who once doubted you are now secretly obsessed with your every move, watching from the shadows, taking notes, wondering what your secret is. They're talking about you, stalking your pages, trying to keep up, analyzing your posts, scrutinizing your photos, dissecting your words, attempting to decode the mystery of your transformation. Your name comes up in conversations you're not even part of, at dinner tables where you've never sat, in group chats you're not included in whispered exchanges at social gatherings you didn't attend. You've become a reference point, a case study in reinvention, a living, breathing example that it's never too late to reclaim your power, a walking testament to the possibility of radical self-evolution. A human demonstration of the phoenix rising from its own ashes. The energy shift is real. You are the one they can't ignore, the one who commands attention without asking for it, the one who walks into a room and changes the atmospheric pressure, the one who doesn't need to raise their voice to be heard, because when you speak now, people listen. It's not about being intimidating, it's about being authentic. Unapologetically, ruthlessly authentic. No more masks, no more dimming your light, no more shrinking. Just you, in all your complex, magnificent, multidimensional glory and authenticity. It's the most magnetic force in the universe. More powerful than beauty, more enduring than wealth, more attractive than any carefully curated persona could ever be. The transformation isn't just internal. It's reflecting in every aspect of your existence. Your finances, your mindset, your entire aura is evolving. Money flows to you differently now, not because you're chasing it, but because you're finally aligned with your worth. No more undercharging, no more over-delivering, no more accepting crumbs when you deserve the whole bakery. You're commanding your value, and the universe is responding with abundance. Your physical appearance has transformed too, not because you've drastically changed your features, but because confidence looks good on you. It's in your posture, no longer hunched to make yourself smaller, but straight and strong like a redwood reaching for the sky. It's in your stride, no longer hesitant and apologetic, but purposeful and certain. It's in your posture, the way you make eye contact without flinching or looking away, the way you speak without constantly checking for approval, the way you laugh fully without covering your mouth, the way you move through space like you belong exactly where you are, no longer asking for permission to exist. People can't quite put their finger on what's different, but they know something has changed. You look great, they say, squinting slightly, trying to identify what exactly has shifted. Is it a new haircut? Weight loss? Different makeup? New clothes? They don't realize it's something far more fundamental. You've shed the heavy cloak of other people's expectations and are finally moving through the world unburdened, unfiltered, uncompromised. Most importantly, your peace is untouchable. That inner sanctuary you've built? Fort Knox, impenetrable, sacred. You've worked too hard for this serenity to let anyone disturb it with their chaos, their judgment, their projections, their limited perception of who you are and what you're capable of. Your energy is expensive now, and not everyone gets access to you anymore. You've raised your standards, heightened your boundaries, elevated your expectations. The all-access pass to your time, attention, and emotion has been revoked, and now people have to earn the privilege of being in your orbit. The best part? You don't even have to prove anything. Your results speak for themselves. The peace in your eyes, the confidence in your step, the authenticity in your words, the alignment in your actions. Undeniable evidence of your transformation, visible to anyone paying attention. So where do you go from here? Forward, always forward, relentlessly, unapologetically forward, like a comet blazing across the night sky, unstoppable, awe-inspiring, following a trajectory that was written in the stars long before anyone tried to dim your light. Never back to the small spaces they tried to confine you in, those cramped, airless boxes where your soul could barely breathe. Never back to the narrow definitions they tried to force you into. Never back to playing small so others could feel big. Never back to the people who couldn't see your worth, the blind who couldn't recognize your light, the deaf who couldn't hear your wisdom, the numb who couldn't feel your power. Never back to those who required you to shrink in order for them to expand. Never back to those who saw your giving nature as something to exploit rather than something to cherish. Never back to the situations that drained your life force. The toxic jobs, the draining relationships, the soul-crushing routines, the energy vampire. Friendships, the thankless roles, the one-sided dynamics where you gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left of you. Stay grounded, stay ruthless with your boundaries, stay committed to your growth even when it gets hard. Especially when it gets hard, because the pushback means you're disrupting patterns, breaking cycles, creating new neural pathways in your brain and new energetic pathways in your life. Keep shocking them by choosing yourself every single time. Not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Not out of vengeance, but out of value for your one wild and precious life. Not because you hate them, but because you finally love yourself too much to accept anything less than what you deserve. They had their chance when you were a people pleaser, when you were malleable, when you were still trying to contort yourself to fit their expectations. They could have treasured you then, appreciated you then, treated you with the dignity and respect you deserved then. Now, they can watch from the sidelines as you become more and more yourself, more powerful, more purposeful, more peaceful, more prosperous. Let them watch, let them wonder, let them wish, but don't let them in. Your energy is too valuable to waste on those who didn't appreciate it when you were giving it away for free. Your time is too precious to spend on those who only want access to you now that you've become inaccessible. Your heart is too sacred to offer to those who didn't handle it with care when you handed it over without reservation. This is your time, your renaissance, your resurrection, your reclamation. Keep that energy flowing like electricity through your veins. Keep that backbone straight and that crown adjusted. Keep those boundaries firm and those standards high. The universe is conspiring in your favor now. The cosmic forces are aligning to support your evolution. The very fabric of reality is bending to accommodate your expansion. Stars are rearranging themselves to light your path. Galaxies are shifting to make space for your growth. Quantum particles are reorganizing to manifest your desires. The ancestral spirits are gathering to witness your resurrection. The elemental forces, earth, air, fire, water, are combining their powers to fuel your transformation. Because when you finally decide that you are worth fighting for, the entire cosmos stands up and pays attention. So shine on, you magnificent force of nature. Radiate that unmistakable glow of someone who has walked through fire and emerged not just unscathed, but forged, stronger, clearer, more powerful than ever before. They never saw it coming, but you did, and that has made all the difference.